for generated electricity and power. They could not even make a down payment for a roasted corn.
And when it comes to utilizing, the number of the young people, right? To say, oh, we need to train them, we need to get the young people off the streets, we need to put them to a productive use during the campaign. Waiting till Tinubu tells you.
The farmer will make more money. Your lunch will not be imported. Cassava gari, yeah. The farmers will make money. The dinner will be cassava by turn the so-called Yahoo boys to experts in manufacturing and creation of chips that intercept and all.
Farmers will make money. Yahoo boys will be turned to those who will be making, the chips and them. I don't understand the language. So how far with the Yahoo boys? Have they started making chips? For the Microsoft computer, them. These are the things you look into. And these are very much valid, sort of like valid questions. But unfortunately, in Nigeria, it doesn't work that way. You're just saying your own. You're just talking your own. That's up to you. Then what about the young people who are mostly the victims of these failed reforms? So, being a system, the real ones. Maybe Tinubu did promise you too.
And we are competing with armed robbers and the bandits to recruit from the youths who are unemployed. 33% unemployed. Recruit 50 million youths into the army and take away from their recruitment source. What they will eat? Cassava, agbado, corn in the morning, yam in the afternoon. It's growing here. You create demand and consumption. For over 5 million army of boot camps. We create our food. That's money for the farmers. That's consumption for the soldiers and skill development. Don't call them illiterate. Don't talk about illiteracy. Anybody who can own gun, who can handle gun, who can cock gun and clean the chamber and cock and shoot is technically competent to repair a tractor in the farm. 70 years old man.
Right? So today, they are singing a different song, student loan. So they claim that they have allocated 175 billion naira for student loan. And then they, anyway, and then they came out and said they have spent 20 billion. Another person came out and said, no, they have spent 106 billion. Another person came out and said, oh yeah, we spent 200 billion. All these lies, they say, oh, we have given money to 100,000 students. Oh no, we have given it to 200,000 students. No, we have given it to 600,000 students. You can't really pinpoint it. But guess what? The same rogues, right? I just said that one. No? They said Ministry of Agriculture. Ministry of Agriculture want to train 100 people on how to make hairdressing. And in this 2025 budget too, right? So they want to teach people how to make hairdressing kind of training, right? So it's going to cost, what do you call it? 600 or something million naira to teach people how to make hair. So the same Ministry of Agriculture is also going to renovate INEC office. INEC gets in one budget too. But Ministry of Agriculture will renovate INEC office in Abeokuta for 1 billion naira. Ministry of Agriculture, right, will also build a new mosque for them in somewhere in Borno. Ministry of Agriculture, Nigeria, they have a desk called Consultancy Desk in Geneva, Switzerland, right? That in this 2025 budget, to manage that desk in Geneva is going to cost 787 million naira in that same budget, 2025 budget. So if people know their real enemies, right, it doesn't matter when these guys who are like believing that they are conquerors, they are, they've conquered you, it's all noise, social media noise, this and that. If there is enough education among the people, I don't think supposedly the opposition should even campaign in that contraption. Just saying, right? Like, but here is what Victor May had to say, that who is now going to face call his candidate is Obi.
Is there any opposition to challenge that?
Of course, of course. There's Peter Obi now. No, let me tell you something. The president contested with how many governors? There were governor in Abia. There were APC governor in Enugu, in Ebonyi. They lost Husli. There were APC governor in the southwest. In Lagos, he lost. So it's not the whole system of plain politics has died.
Because the analysis of political analysis is that the way and manner that opposition has composed and coordinated themselves, there is no way that is a express way for Tinubu to get a re-election in 2026.
I'm trying to.
There is no opposition.
Let me give you statistics. No matter how coordinated the opposition is, APC is more in panic mode. That endorsement of the president was all about panicking. You can't tell me you contested with a man who don't have political structure, no entrenchment of power in any way backing him. And in the South, entire South, he scored 44.5%. Tinubu scored 35.5%. When we came to the North, OBC scored a large chunk of the vote with 50.2%. So you can't have a man who has scored 25% in 16 states and 50% in 7 states, and you say that you are good. And these are organic votes. These are not votes that were controlled by money. These are not votes that were controlled by people, oligarchs, or by party entrenched leaders or elected officers who bring out money and say, go and vote for my candidate. No, Nigeria decided. So I think the opposition, no matter how uncoordinated they are, if they get the answer right, if they put up their best their best candidate forward, I'm telling you that APC, we have nowhere to hide. They will not even see the last vote they got. They won't see it in the 2027 election because the performance is bad. There's so much hunger in the street. Look, check the prices of goods. Look at our GDP has fallen from 300 something billion to 188 billion. So we have a problem that we need to be able to sit down and see government that is, interested and committed to making sure that the life of Nigeria has positive effect. And the Nigerian worker, look at us. They're not getting any money. They're opening all sorts of new agencies for 100 billion, putting Yakubu Dura. We can't have favoritism in government. We can't have government that wants to just only be able to, put people who are supposed to be their structure in place.
Chief Ahmed, we need to close. So, in closing, in assessing this government, so the poor is being failed, the middle being passed, the higher point being good. How would you say this government has performed? Highest been 10, lowest been 1.
Let's give them 1 as well. Let's give them 1 for now. I'll see what they're doing in the next 2 years.
1 out of 10
yes.
in 2 years.
People are suffering.
1. They cannot get promoted into the next class.
The price of goods is fast. They can't even get promoted.
So this government has failed as far as you're concerned?
As far as many Nigerians are concerned. You can do voice properly. Go to the street, carry microphone and ask Nigerians. It's not me.
President Bola Tinubu, you have heard. That is the assessment of...
We are a poor nation. The bank hole will follow. They say firewood, not smoke. They say we need to plant more trees. And they are not giving us money. We need to open our eyes, shine it, and tell the West. If you don't guarantee our finances and work with us to stop this, we are not going to comply with your climate change. They'll do it.
They'll do it. And call. I mean, forget. That's why I told you that I don't have any, I don't have any hate blood inside me. So these guys that I, talk about all the time to educate you where you should, please direct your anger, your rage, your inquisity, your whatever it is, that to just get to understand those behind what you are passing through daily, even if you're not in Nigeria, but you do have families there, right? So Tinubu, I see Tinubu as this 80-year-old grandpa. All these grandpas, they can be very funny, especially among their grand or great-grandchildren. And most of the time, they always have the flashback of what they did when they were young. And sometimes they also do not really understand, or should I say, they are not as fast as we are today in catching up with, all this constantly changing world of ours. So you get to see some of them that they will say, no, that means it is this same head, right, that I had when I was younger, right? I'm bubbling and active and all that. So that I'm older person, that doesn't mean that I'm dumb. So all these older people that they want to kind of like, go head to head with you on things, information and all that, because they were like that when they were younger. So that's why I see Tinubu. Unfortunately, I don't see Tinubu to be a president of any mental home association, talk less of a community association, but it is Nigeria, right? Where you have elevated, crooked rogues who have used the system to, entrench themselves. Tinubu and others. It's normal, share you get, right? People like that would not even risk coming to any public office because of their lifestyle, their shady lifestyles. But Nigeria, what you really need, especially to join APC, is your shady past. In fact, it could be your own VIP ticket, right? To growing so fast or going up the ladder very fast in APC. So you heard him. So right now, online, there is a bit of a campaign. I don't know if you have noticed, but I omitted this earlier. Just a quick mention. There is somebody who didn't follow this guy to APC. And his name is Ene Ememobong. So he tendered his resignation letter. Instead of following his governor to APC, he said, what's his excuse again? He said, you have directed that any appointee who is unwilling to accompany you to switch from the PDP to the APC should resign. Ipso facto, based on my personal conviction, I will be unable to join the APC. I hereby most respectfully tender my resignation as Honorable Commissioner for Special Duties and Ibom Deep Seaport, and a member of the State Executive Council. Just for a quick mention, okay? So like I said, on the side, so there's a bit of, if you are a very active person online, right, you possibly have noticed. And I think that is what, gave birth to Obi is coming, in case if you have seen that. And if you have not, well, good enough for you. They made different posters like this one. Obi is coming, Obi is coming. And why is that? The Ronukus, right, including, Reno Mockery and others like that, they seem to have this coordinated campaign, number one, to make those who supported Obi in the Southwest, in Yoruba land, for example, right, to begin to see that as a huge mistake. I don't know if you have seen some of those comments online, where random person will just come and say, I'm so happy that, I am no longer an Obidient. I supported Obi. I donated money. Now, I am now going to go and support Tinubu because now I know that Obidient is about Igbo, it's IPOB. I don't know if you have come across all those things. They are coordinated though. If you have, just so you know, they are coordinated campaign, meaning they need to make it look like that. Okay? So that everyone can say, oh, what happened in 2023 was just a fluke. And they need to put that in the psyche of the people. Enough. And there are others who have also, that one didn't start today anyway, they have been preaching and campaigning a campaign of calumny to make you believe that the Obidients are violent. How many of you have seen that? Yeah? Oh, these obedient people, they are always insulting people. Any small thing, because they are insulting me, I'm not going to support Obi again. I've seen a lot of that. These are coordinated campaign. Oh. They are not random. Oh. Because people are also reacting, as usual now. Go to hell. Who wants you? Who wants to see you? Well, anyway, the real people who attack people, who threaten people, those who even killed people simply because they won't support the druggie, Tinubu, right? They are now accusing those of you using your phones, spitting, trolling yourselves, saying things. They are now saying that they are so afraid of you. And they are not really saying they are so afraid. They are saying that you, using this your phone, writing and, responding or trolling them on social media makes you more dangerous than those who attacked people physically and even killed people in Lagos. It is systemic. So I think that is what now gave birth to this Obi is coming, this Obi is coming, that if you have seen that around. And they are also saying that their 2027 means rig and roast, rig and die, and so many other things like that, hashtag this and that. So David Undeyin said, to those who want to participate in their 2027 charade, those of you who are already contemplating that, you still do it anyway. Yeah? Whether they do not change or trash that fake constitution which gives them the power of this impunity, this corruption, this compromised system, even if they don't change the constitution, even if they don't change your electoral act, even if they don't arrest and jail Yakubu, some of you are still going to go there and join them and vote. So then you said, why not just get prepared for the Ghana treatment? We have some of the supposed Nigerian army or soldiers, right? Those who are in the Nigerian soldiers, those who are the police and the rest of them. Some of them later came back to say they were expecting people to troop out, challenge the INEC. They waited for 1 week to announce a fake, rigged, non-existent result and declared Tinubu 4 a.m. in the morning when you were sleeping. They said some of them said they expected Nigerians to actually reject that. And of course, they are going to send them out to go and shoot at you. Or if they actually really see you out, not 20 people, 10 people, carrying we no go gree, solidarity. Here you get, but what did they do in Ghana? The ruling government in Ghana, it is the same calamity that befell Nigeria in 2015. That also happened to Ghana in 2016. They too were championing for change. They had their government of, you remember their former president, who is now their president, John Mahama, right? So he was accused of being corrupt, right? Meanwhile, this was a government that was actually doing something physical that you can actually criticize. So they went for Akufo-Addo. Akufo-Addo became their president, tanked the entire Ghana economy. And then he now turned into a dictator. If you say something anyhow, they will arrest you, pick you up. You understand? It was so bad that when the Ghanaians tried to get rid of him, they said they expected Nigerians to actually like reject that. And of course, they are going to send them out to go and join them and vote. So then you said, why not just get prepared for the Ghana treatment? We have some of the supposed Nigerian army or soldiers, right? Those who are in the Nigerian soldiers, those who are like the police and the rest of them. Some of them later came back to say they were expecting people to troop out, challenge the INEC. They waited for 1 week to announce a fake, rigged, non-existent result and declared Tinubu 4 a.m. in the morning when you were sleeping. refused him the second term. He twisted them. He got himself second term. Right? So it became that to the point that all this tribalism, religious this thing that you are seeing in Nigeria, they were pushing that in Ghana too. All of this just to maintain power, while at the same time, you know, with the rope around their neck, right? Ghanaians were dragged to the World Bank, IMF, and dipped in the perpetual indebtedness. But when it came to 2023, it was like their life depended on it. If you don't then, and some Ghanaians themselves came out to confirm this. They said, for the first time in a long time, Ghanaians were like, people who were all right. I mean, the people were okay, but not really all right. You understand that? But they were okay. Then they chose to go for something we promised them that they will be better, only for them to lose their okay.